So these nets are called mist nets. They're very fine and they can't see them. So then when they're flying, they just fly into the net and gently fall into a pocket. And then we just extract them the way they flew in. Gently extract them. So this is a wood thrush. There are shade-grown coffee poster birds because when they migrate in the winter, they go to Costa Rica and Colombia. Buying shade-grown coffee can be very good for migratory birds. So you see that they're breeding in this shrubby, scrubby habitat, the understory of the woods. They're woodland nesting birds, but need a nice, dense understory to be successful in their breeding. Put them in these bags and gently carry them back to the banding station so they're secure and comfortable until we process the data. Welcome to the Rushton Woods Preserve MAPS banding station. MAPS is spelled M-A-P-S, and it stands for Monitoring Avian Productivity and Survivorship. And so what we're doing in this particular banding protocol is looking at our breeding birds in a woodland shrub-scrub habitat. We check the nets every 50 minutes. And then the data is recorded in our book, and this is a standardized protocol across 500 other stations throughout North America, and it also partners with a program called MOSI, which is done in Central and South America. It's probably the most coordinated data set used by scientists, so any researcher that's looking at any of the birds we catch has access to this data for their research. We all know that birds have been declining rapidly, over 3 billion birds since 1970. That's a third of all birds on the planet. We are looking to see where we can reverse these declines and looking at the full life cycle of the bird. So this is just one part of the life cycle. This is the breeding part, but our other projects that we collaborate with, we're part of the Northeast Modus collaboration, and that project looks at the full life cycle of these birds that we only see certain times of the year. So what we do is we collect the data in a standardized protocol, and then that data is sent to the Institute of Bird Populations housed in California, and it's also sent to the Bird Banding Lab in Maryland, which is run by the USGS and the federal government. So we are federally licensed to band birds and collect data. This is our 12th year of banding. For breeding season in particular, it's very interesting because we catch the same birds year after year. And we have a tied record for the oldest veery ever banded, which was 11 years old, so that was exciting. It's exciting when you catch a bird your first year of collecting data and then 12 years later catch that bird again, or you can really look at the longevity of the birds. Are they breeding? Are they successful with their breeding? Are they surviving? These are the things that we're looking at, and what is the composition of the species that are using the habitat that we are working on. We are seeing an increase in the number of species and how many of each species during our migration banding. We hypothesize that is a result of the surrounding development pressure, that there's less space for the birds to go during migration to rest and refuel on their journeys to their breeding grounds. It was once said that if you take care of birds, you take care of all the environmental problems that there are. They're incredible ecological indicators. They're ubiquitous in the landscape. They sing songs, they're beautiful colors, they're easy to study. And so if you can study a group of species, that will indicate how the state of the environment is doing, and look at places where it may be failing or maybe where it's doing really well. It gives you an indicator of how successful you are or what you need to work on, and where do you concentrate your valuable conservation resources to make the best impact on surrounding wildlife. You've come down through the farm. It's an 80-acre preserve. We're modeling how you can grow food to feed humans and also positively impact the surrounding wildlife, whereas in most cases, agriculture comes at the cost of wildlife, habitat. So these are two things that we have to constantly balance: human use versus, saving wildlife for the sake of of wildlife.